Senate is about Nigeria and Nigerians.
I am totally against this bill, and it will not resolve the current challenges we are facing.
Bill to ban open grazing skills second reading at the Senate amidst controversy.
I believe that there is a need for Mr. President to seek for a further legal framework.
Just as Senate called for a review of security approach in tackling banditry in northwestern states. You're welcome to another episode of Inside the Senate, a program that brings you updates on the activities from the Senate Chamber of the National Assembly and its members. I'm your host, Hadiza Bayero Aliu. Last week, the Senate attended to quite a number of bills, among which was a bill seeking the establishment of a National Animal Husbandry and Ranches Commission. This is in a bid to tackle the issue of farmers-herders clashes. In the same vein, a motion seeking the review of the security approach in addressing banditry in northwestern states was also considered. A report of these and other activities from last week's plenary will make up this episode of our program. Please stay tuned for details after this break.
Promote the unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria.
The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2023.
And this act should be supported by all.
There are issues that we must use this opportunity to critically address.
We accord this motion the urgency and the necessity it requires.
I rise the second motion.
The ayes have it.
Thanks for staying tuned. On Wednesday, 5th June 2024, a bill for an act to establish a National Animal Husbandry and Ranches Commission for the regulation, management, preservation and control of ranches throughout Nigeria and for connected purposes was debated at second reading on the floor of the Senate. Senator Zam Titus Tettinger, sponsor of the bill, led the debate.
The menace of farmers and herders crisis can easily be cured through a legislative therapy banning open grazing in Nigeria. My dear colleagues, historically, farmers-herders conflicts date back to pre-colonial times. However, these violent conflicts have become more severe, intense, and frequent in recent decades due to a number of factors.
There was contributions to the bill by other lawmakers.
While I agree that now is the time for us to stop open grazing, it also means that this is also the time for us to take another look at the law that makes land to be in the hands of states. Because there's no way you are going to be able to establish a ranch in a state if the state government says that they don't want it.
We should expand the role of the commission, not only as at establishing ranches. There is need for extension services. There is need for bringing better breeds of cattle. An average cattle of a pastoral Fulani man gives you less than 1 liter of milk a day, as against 30 liters of the hybrid cattle.
In the north, we used to have a cattle route with open grazing those days. Those cattle routes, they have been taken over by communities. And now, no cattle routes. The cattle, they are all over the place. You will even see them on Abuja Street. You see them all over the place. They enter people's farmland and causing problems all over the country.
While the bill got so much support, some lawmakers expressed their reserve over a clause in the bill, which suggests that ranches should be created only in states of origin of herders, thereby forcing the herders to return to their states of origin.
The submission of the promoter of this bill, he said that the ranches can only be made from the states where the owners of the cows come from. I know what he's trying to do. We can't do it that way. Well, all these Fulanis are Nigerians. They don't even benefit anything from government. They don't enjoy schools. They don't enjoy hospitals. They don't enjoy any roads. All the housing programs done by government, and they don't enjoy them. Nothing.
I am totally against this bill, and it will not resolve the current challenges we are facing. It will compound our problem. You cannot in any way make a law for a particular section to protect some part of the country.
Some of the lawmakers also suggested that the bill be allowed to scale second reading, after which consultations should be made with relevant stakeholders.
Even those who are complaining about certain sections of the lead debate concede that they are not opposed to the bill. I therefore want to suggest that we allow the second reading of this bill to be committed to the relevant committees and for public hearing to be conducted.
This same Senate had approved a national conference to discuss extensively on the issue and proffer solutions so that we can move forward to avoid these problems.
With these submissions, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who was presiding, asked the sponsor of the bill if he would want to step down the bill for further consultation.
I advise that this bill should be stepped down for further consultation.
Down for further consultations? No. Mr. Senate President, no. Okay.
With that, the motion for the bill to be read a second time was put to vote.
Those who are in support that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. And those against say nay. Well, the ayes have it.
The bill was then referred to the Senate Committees on Agriculture, Judiciary and Legal Matters, Trade and Investment to report back to the Senate in 1 month. Let's take a break here to open our Senate notebook. Don't go away.
The Constitution provides that representation in the Senate is by equality, meaning that each state of the Federation is entitled to 3 senators, which makes a total of 108 considering the 36 states. The FCT is allowed 1 senator, thereby making it a total of 109 in the chamber. In the House of Representatives, representation is by population of each state, and that is why states like Lagos with a population of 11 million and Kano with a population of 16 million have the highest representation with 24 members each, while states like Bayelsa and Nasarawa with population of 2.2 million and 2.5 million respectively have 5 members each. The lawmakers are allowed a term of 4 years and can serve for as long as they are returned by their electorates, unlike the executive, who are allowed only 2 terms for the president and governors.
You are still watching Inside the Senate, bringing you highlights from proceedings of the Red Chamber of the National Assembly and its members. We will now take more reports from plenary for last week. Highlights include a motion calling for a review of the approach to tackling insecurity in the Northwest region. Keep watching.
To make provisions for the legal and institutional framework for the creation.
On Wednesday, 5th June 2024, the Senate considered a bill sponsored by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. It was titled, A Bill for an Act to Make Provisions for Nigeria Gold Reserve Industry Framework and for Other Related Matters 2024. She said, the bill is a proactive step towards harnessing and maximizing the potential of Nigeria's gold reserves by establishing a robust framework for the harnessing, exploitation and marketing of gold.
Nigeria boasts of a significant gold reserves estimated at over 300 million ounces. An ounce is approximately 28.35 grams. The current market price of an ounce of gold is $2,342 US. and this is calculated against the 300 million ounces. The Nigeria gold market has a potential of over 700 billion US dollars. Yet, Nigeria's gold production and market remains relatively low because of inadequate legislative and framework.
The bill enjoyed robust debates.
This is a wake-up call for us to see how best we can harness this and, refine it properly. And of course, so when I hear things like creating wealth, creating jobs, yes, it's the process. There is a process that we must follow. So for me, I think this is a wake-up call for us to reorganize the industry wherein we have the gold reserves. We see a lot of what one can describe as illegal mining of gold and all of that, but really mining it into the gold bars that will constitute that the reserves that we desire is still a process that we as a country, we must.
This is a low-hanging fruit. We have this gold deposit. If the central bank can buy this gold deposit and turn them into bars, this is a quick win. The value of Naira will show up immediately. So, with the amount of itinerant miners mining gold and selling it illegally and people shipping it out of this country without trace, if the central bank, you are not using dollars to buy gold, you are going to use Naira. If the central bank use the same Naira to buy gold, it will show up the value of our currency immediately.
This bill is coming at the right time because without the framework, all the issues raised cannot be done, cannot be performed. And if you look at the lead debate, Mr. President, two issues came up. First, about stabilization of our currency. If we have gold reserve, our currency will be stabilized, and we won't be having the issues we have right now in the country. Secondly, the issue of employment. It will reduce the unemployment rate in the country by creating jobs. And Mr. President, I want to call on us to ensure that if this bill is passed, that no gold will leave this country raw. It must be refined in the country before it be taken out of Nigeria.
After the debate, the bill was read a second time and referred to the committees on solid mineral, banking and insurance, and other financial institutions to report back within 2 weeks.
Those against say nay, the ayes have it. The Senate notes that Katsina Sokoto Zamfara.
For motions, on Thursday, 6 June 2024, Senator Nasir Hussaini Zangwandora, representing Katsina North Senatorial District, and 20 others, moved a motion on the urgent need to review the security approach in addressing banditry attacks in Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, and Kebbi states in the northwest of Nigeria. This is in a bid to get a permanent solution to the continuous attacks on the region carried out by bandits.
The Senate notes that Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, Kano, Jigawa, and Kebbi states have been plagued by escalating banditry attacks, resulting in loss of lives, kidnapping for ransom, displacement of communities, and disruption of socio-economic activities. The Senate also notes that the state governments have allocated significant funds to augment the operations of the security agencies in combating banditry and restoring peace in the region.
Some lawmakers contributed to the motion.
I believe that there is the need for Mr. President to seek for a further legal framework that will give the Nigerian security forces the comfort to go out there to ensure that they engage this bad element. How do I mean? We may have to identify these areas, get the coordinates, and Mr. President may have to seek the support of the Parliament to declare emergency, state of emergency in those areas. State of emergency doesn't require removal of any elected official of government, either the governor, the assembly, or even a local government chairman. But once that is done, that will give the military and the security personnel the comfort and confidence to go all out to engage.
FCT has a lot of banditry and insecurity. And what is scary about that is the seat of government, is where you all live. And therefore, it will be a great shame if you hear one day that some senators were kidnapped, or even worse, people even higher than senators. I think that banditry should be treated with the utmost urgency, especially here.
Prayers for the motion were to urge the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, to direct a thorough review and evaluation of the strategies employed by security agencies in the region and consider the deployment of additional security personnel, special task force, to the identified hotspots to ensure the protection of lives and properties. Also urge the relevant security agencies to collaborate with the respective state governments, local communities, traditional leaders and stakeholders to gather intelligence and enhance security operations in the affected areas. Further urge both the federal and northwest state governments to reconsider their approaches in negotiating with criminals from an apparent position of weakness by exploring alternative strategies to address the root causes of insecurity, such as improving intelligence gathering and law enforcement, enhancing community policing, and promoting socio-economic developments in the affected states. Equally urge the President, Commander-in-Chief, to direct the establishment of a task force to evaluate the effectiveness and implications of negotiating with bandits, conducting a thorough analysis of the short-term gains versus the long-term consequences of such actions, and again urge the military and security agencies to be proactive and innovative in their strategies to secure farmland so that farmers may return to their farms, thereby ensuring increased food production and food security, thus mitigating against the ever-rising food inflation currently being experienced in the country. Additional prayers were to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all relevant security agencies for their efforts in combating insecurity in the nation and include North Central states in the fight against insecurity. The motion was voted on and adopted. On bills, several were tabled in the Senate for first reading in the week under review. They include Building Structures and Waterways Prohibition Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Rufai Sani Hanga, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Osita Izunaso, Federal College of Education, Karim Lamido, Taraba State, Establishment Bill 2024, sponsored by Senator Isa Shuaibu Lau.
Thanks for staying tuned to Inside the Senate. Last week, the Senate Committee on Basic and Secondary Education visited the Federal Government Boys College, Garki, and Government Day Secondary School, Wuse 2, Abuja, to monitor the 2024 National Common Entrance Examination, NCEE. According to reports, this year, a total of 70,603 candidates sat for the examination, unlike last year, 172,865 candidates registered. Chairman Senate Committee on Basic and Secondary Education, Senator Lawal Usman, commended NECO for the conduct of the examination. Senator Lawal urged the council to upgrade its examinations to ICT platform, just as conducted by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM.
NECO have done very well, and the students are comfortable, as the permanent secretary said. They're comfortable and they're sitting in chairs and writing their exams. So I think the next level is to upgrade to the JAM. Well, I visited the JAM examination centers while writing with computers.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Education, Mrs. Didi Wilson-Jack, who spoke on the assessment of the examination, expressed satisfaction with the conduct.
Generally, I would say that everything is going on smoothly. We went into the classrooms. The students are sitting on tables and chairs. They are doing the exams comfortably. There is cooling in the room, and there has been no problem so far.
The Registrar CEO National Examination Council, NECO, Professor Ibrahim Mushishi, during the monitoring in Abuja, said the candidates were posted to write the examination in 599 centers across the country. He further stated that many factors were responsible for the lower registration, including the economy.
We all know what is happening in the economy, and it is affecting everybody. And the bulk of the population are in the rural areas. And in some states, they don't sponsor candidate at this level. It's the parents that sponsor candidate, and sometimes politicians, sometimes traditional rulers. So, and you can see why economic factor will be the most prevailing factor hindering this registration.
We'll end the program with our profile segment. Stand by for our Senator of the Week.
Senator Orji Uzor Kalu is the current senator representing Abia North Senatorial District in the 10th Senate. He was elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC). Senator Orji Uzor Kalu was born on 21st of April 1960. He attended Christ the King School, Aba, and Government College, Umuahia, Abia State. After studying at Barewa College, Zaria, he enrolled in the University of Maiduguri, where he studied political science but later went to the Abia State University, where he obtained a degree. He also obtained a certificate in business administration from Harvard University and honorary doctorates from the Universities of Maiduguri and Abia State. Senator Orji Uzor Kalu headed First International Bank Limited at the age of 33. He also stewarded Nigerian commercial relations with China's Sino-Pacific Shipbuilding Company. Senator Kalu eventually established Slok Holding, a conglomerate that would consist of a number of successful companies, including Ojialex Furniture Company, Slok Nigeria Limited, Slok United Kingdom Limited, Adamawa Publishers Limited, Slok Vegetable Oil Aba, Slok Paper Factory Aba, Slok United States Incorporated, Slok Ghana, Togo, Cotonou, Guinea, South Africa, Liberia, Botswana, and Slok Korea, Supreme Oil Limited, Slok Airlines, Sun Publishing Limited, and First International Bank Limited. Senator Kalu is the chairman of the Daily Sun, a Nigerian daily print newspaper founded and published in Ikeja, Lagos. The Daily Sun was incorporated on 29th March 2001 and began production as a weekly newspaper on 18th January 2003. From 29th May 1999 to 29th May 2007, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu served as governor of Abia State under the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Prior to his election, he served as the chairman of the Borno Water Board and the chairman of the Cooperative and Commerce Bank Limited. In 2023, he contested for the seat of senator representing Abia North Senatorial District in the 10th Senate and won on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC). He chairs the Senate Committee on Privatization in the 10th Senate. His legislative interests include women and youth empowerment, as well as community development.
Here we draw the curtains on this episode of Inside the Senate. Feel free to watch past episodes of Inside the Senate by connecting with us on our social media platforms displayed on your screen. Until I come your way again with another edition of the program, enjoy the rest of your day.